Tonight on The Edge, DEI is out at U of M.
Coming up on The Edge, the University of Michigan making a shocking move, deciding to close down its Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
It's been something that's kind of been like circling around. Like I knew that like the university was going to have to speak out on this at some point.
We explain why and what this means.
This is a story that'll knock your socks off. A Detroit police officer accused of stealing his colleague's shoes.
Guess what? Police, we're not above the law. We hold our own accountable as well.
Coming up on The Edge, how they got him.
For the first time since Tejano superstar Selena was murdered 30 years ago, her killer learns if she will be set free.
Those stories and more right now.
This is The Edge.
The Edge at 11 starts now.
Big changes at the University of Michigan. The school is shutting down its Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
Now, this is a big shift for U of M, given its longtime commitment to advocacy of progressive values. Fox 2's Tanisha Cordell has more on the jobs and programs that could be impacted.
Well, it's not clear how many jobs and people this will impact overall. We did go directly to the provost's office to find out more. A media relations team member meeting us in the lobby, directing us to the statement on the school's website saying that's all they can release at this time. On campus here, a mixed reaction. Some students saying they've been waiting for this decision. Others saying they're fearing what's going to happen next. The word is out.
It's been something that's kind of been like circling around.
University of Michigan students reacting to DEI cuts and the school's overall DEI 2.0 strategy plan.
We're hoping that Michigan would fight harder, and we were sad to just see how quickly it folded.
The university announcing the cuts Thursday, saying the decision was not made lightly, but was based on an assessment of its DEI programs, input from stakeholders, and the president's executive orders targeting DEI efforts nationwide.
The fact that this is happening, it's like it just sucks to see that. Like my younger brother, he's only 14 years old. Like I'm worried for him because we're not a rich family. So I really want him to come to a big like Ivy or like even just like a public school like this.
I'm happy it's going away because hopefully we can get more dialogue out of students. You know, someone might get in just because of their race and not because of their merit. I think that's just wrong. Like it should be a more transparent process.
The university says it'll ensure the campus remains inclusive with its Go Blue guarantee, investments in improving mental health support, expanded financial aid, and its scholars program. Still, junior Jordan Sinkowitz says she's disappointed.
I was happy to be at a school that represented it, and now I'm kind of just, now I feel like we're all just kind of like very disappointed and kind of like, well, what do we do now? Like, what do we even like represent?
The Michigan native saying the university's advocacy on matters like DEI was a major motivator to enroll. She says the reality of the nation's political climate and impact on her college experience is setting in.
I think we all thought better of our university.
Closing the DEI office is just one of the latest changes to UM's DEI culture. In December, the university put an end to soliciting diversity statements to prospective faculty members. For now, reporting in Ann Arbor, I'm Tanisha Cordell on The Edge.
Wall Street not reacting well to President Trump's decision to impose a 25% tariff on all cars that aren't made in our country. The big three automakers say the new fees will have a devastating impact on America's economy and also create confusion because most car makers assemble their products with parts not made in the U.S. Today, shares for General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis all plummeted. The threat of a potential trade war also led to stocks ending lower today. The Dow tumbled 155 points. The Nasdaq saw a 94-point drop, and the S&P 500 was down 18 on the day.
There is a suspected shoe bandit afoot, and Detroit police didn't have to go far to catch him.
Kind of a bizarre story. Fox 2's Lauren Edwards has more on a police officer accused of having sticky fingers.
It is different, and you know, when it's brought to our attention, any type of crime or anything, we investigate.
Detroit police with a case like no other. Chief Todd Bettison says a member of the department has been accused of stealing other police officers' shoes.
Over at the 3rd precinct in the locker room, just like any typical locker room, our officers, you know, tend not to put their shoes in their lockers. It's outside the lockers, or it could be some other things as well. And so shoes were coming up missing.
Detroit police say between September 2024 to January 2025, 27-year-old Officer James Clark Davis III allegedly stole multiple pairs of sneakers from fellow officers at DPD's Atwater Street location.
We did like typically utilize an AirTag or other device. We planted a pair of shoes over there and put it in the shoes. The shoes came up missing. Ultimately, the shoes ended up at Officer Davis's house.
Police got a search warrant, entered his home, and found the missing shoes. Thursday, Davis was arraigned on 3 counts of larceny in a building and 1 count of receiving and concealing stolen property, $200 to $1,000.
It's really a sad day. I know him, and so I just want Officer Davis to get the help that he needs. Of course, he's going to have to, just like anybody else, go through the criminal justice process.
The chief says Officer Davis also resigned Thursday, but emphasizes that police are not above the law.
We're going to keep on holding our own accountable, just like we'll hold the community accountable for when when folks are stealing or any other type crimes.
We're hearing some of the shoes that were taken were Nikes and other high-priced sneakers. As for Davis, his probable cause is scheduled for April 8th. His prelim is a week after that. Reporting here in Detroit, Lauren Edwards, On the Edge.
Well, it was just last month, Berkeley police announced charges against a suspected child predator. They believe there could be more victims.
And now it looks like they were right, unfortunately. Since 24-year-old Darren Bradford was arrested for sex crimes against minors, another teen has come forward. A 15-year-old girl from Bloomfield Township told police they had sexual contact in her house. In exchange, she was given vapes. Bradford is now facing new charges of criminal sexual conduct in the 3rd degree. He's already behind bars for a similar crime in a vehicle in Grosse Pointe Park. Bradford was arrested at his apartment in Berkeley in February, which is located steps away from a middle school and a high school.
Well, he's accused of raping a woman at gunpoint at a Southfield hotel and forcing her to ingest cocaine. Now, 37-year-old Victor Reese is sitting in the Oakland County Jail facing several serious charges. Police were called to the Staybridge Suites last week after a woman told the front desk clerk that she was being held against her will. She told officers she was forced into sex acts as Reese pointed a gun at her and also made threats to harm her family. Reese was charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct, kidnapping, and weapons possession by a prohibited person. He was given a $25,000 bond. Well, a Michigan resident has died from rabies after getting an infected organ transplant in Ohio.
The CDC says it's Michigan's first human case of rabies in more than 15 years. The patient died in January, 1 month after surgery at a hospital in Lucas County, Ohio. That's just south of the state line. We're told the organ donor is not from Michigan or Ohio. The disease usually spreads through the saliva of infected animals like dogs, coyotes, and bats. Michigan health officials stress there's no threat to the public.
All right, listen, it is 11-something at night, and it's 45 degrees outside, which used to be, like, we'd get excited about that as a high. We're moving in the right direction.
We're trending upwards, Rich Luterman, right?
Jess and Roop, we are. Today, we had sun early on, then we had clouds, some sprinkles, especially south of the city, but it felt milder out there. There's a warm front developing off to our south and west, and that's going to keep us moving in the right direction for tomorrow and Saturday. You'll see it all coming up in the forecast. Right now, it's pretty quiet out there. Those sprinkles from earlier today are now down over Pennsylvania. Live pictures from Southfield. It's quiet. And yes, it's not as cold tonight. 45 degrees right now here in southern Oakland County. We are up 10 from this time yesterday. Look at that. Kalamazoo up 17 degrees. So warmer numbers ahead. 58 and 27. It was chilly this morning. A lot of us started out below 32. There was frost on the windshield for many of us. There are the averages, 51 and 32. Nothing close to any records. But right now, most of us are in the low to mid 40s. There's not much of a breeze left out there. Cooler air to our north, warmer air to our south. There's going to be this battleground that's going to affect us in our forecast, and you'll see that coming up with the numbers. 72 Kansas City, cool up in Boston, looking good in Orlando at 66 degrees. Watch this frontal boundary. Watch what it does. It snakes around the southern and central Great Lakes for a few days. Finally, Sunday night, it's going to push south and east of us. but we are going to see some unsettled weather, meaning some shower chances Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tomorrow, probably the best chance will be in the afternoon, maybe a sprinkle close to sunrise. 40 degrees the low. Tomorrow we're up to 65. Most of the time it will not be raining tomorrow. That is true for your Saturday as well. Sunday looks rainy and then colder from Monday and Tuesday of next week, so more ups and downs. How about a full check coming up at 4 a.m.? Remember, always get the latest forecast. Check it out, the Fox 2 Weather app. Download it for free in the App Store or in Google Play.
We're already back in our houses. My furnace has been replaced. My hot water tank's been replaced. They've cleaned, sterilized my basement.
What a difference a few weeks can make. Southwest Detroit residents who were forced from their homes last month due to a 54-inch water main break are celebrating the progress. The city credits about a dozen community groups that stepped up to help meet their 6-week goal, which is expected to be met by next week. We're told the claims that were filed are now being paid out. The city says things got done quickly because it didn't have to rely on federal or state money. About 15 families are still at hotels for the time being. Now, drivers already have their hands full with all that construction on 696, and there's more work on the horizon for a different freeway.
We're actually learning new details about a major construction project on I-94 that's actually reconstruction. The more than $300 million Restore 94 project is slated to cover about 13 miles from Romulus to around the Dearborn-Detroit border. Traffic will be diverted into lanes on one side of the freeway, and officials don't expect it to fully shut down. The project split into 5 stages and will be starting early next year.